Aloha, everyone. Welcome to another dose of positivity. I am over the moon excited for this show, not only because my special guest is so knowledgeable and wonderful and caring, and is going to be bringing so much information to us here, but also this is a time of celebration for myself, my anniversary of being really sick and knowing how. This information that Nadra is going to be sharing with us has helped heal me so that I can continue doing these shows. And I also am so pleased to say that Tel is back in the house helping me monitor and managing all of these shows. And Tel, welcome up to A Dose of Positivity. And everybody who's streaming in from LinkedIn and the Facebook pages, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so happy you're here. And if you're listening to a replay, no worries. If you have a comment or a question or suggestion, pop it in and into the YouTube channel or the Spotify or other anchor channels that we put these on podcasts, and we will check them and we will get back to you. And for anybody who is not already subscribed, go ahead and pop your email in or reach out to us or do it anytime. You can reach me at donnamaltz.com, or you can go on the social media channels and find where you can subscribe so you can get not just a dose of positivity, but a daily dose. Because every week, every day, we put out a beautiful nature photography and a quote to inspire you and help rise your vibration another notch. Um, the thing that is super important that I always mention at the beginning of the show is this is live. And so if you would kindly mute yourselves, and if you have a question, just pop it in the chat. And if you'd like to come on stage, just feel free to raise your hand. Before we get started, too, and as people are coming into the house, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mama Donna, known to many as Mama Donna or Donna Maltz, and I am a certified health coach. And these shows are all about supporting social and environmental justice. And I invite only health practitioners and change makers and thought leaders who put social and environmental justice at the forefront of their endeavors. And our guest speaker today is no exception. We were going to be talking today about making Ayurvedic practical in our current lives, because some people are put off by um, acupuncture, Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic, Indian medicine, and how we can make this approachable and in your daily lives, and how you can heal through many of these modalities we're going to be going over today. And if you haven't already, I invite you all to go to our group Facebook page. We'll put that in the link. Tell kindly put that in the link. And Nadra, she has been so kind as to provide us all with a um, a guide, a form where you can fill it out and put in your personal details of what you're happening to help her evaluate you and figure out what your dosha is, which we're going to be talking about shortly. But it's a very simple form, just takes minutes to fill out. And I encourage all of you to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. So again, as people are coming in, I'm just going to read you something short, not from one of my books. As most of you know, I'm an author, and we'll put that link to my books in there. But I will read this. This came from my forthcoming, my blog this week, and we'll send the link for the rest of the blog because I think you'll find it really interesting. So this blog was called Embracing Life's Journey, Reflecting on Family Health and Ayurveda. As I reflect on my vibrant moments of my family reunion spanning 3 generations, I just got back a week ago, so from this amazing trip, I find myself pondering deeply upon my journey from my youthful days, marveling at the elders, to now being among them. I realize the power of choice in shaping my path forward. Life has taught me that aging doesn't have to mean losing joy, your hair, vibrancy, But despite the challenges of health setbacks last year, I embraced a new perspective of life's blessing. And Ayurveda, which is an ancient wisdom, has been pivotal in restoring my vitality and guiding me towards a balanced existence. Gone are the days of being overwhelmed by negativity. Instead, I am turned to nature, meditation, nurturing relationships to find solace and strength. And through Ayurvedic practices tailored to my dosha, my personal dosha, which we'll get into, I've regained my health and embraced each day with renewed vigor. My recent journey through Northern California redwoods and coastal beaches was a testament to the transformation. Surrounded by loved ones, I felt the ocean breeze on my face and the joy of fully being present. This trip, once a distant dream during my health struggles, became a celebration of life and renewed wellness. Ayurveda isn't just a health regime. It happens to be a philosophy that harmonizes the mind, the body, and the spirit. By understanding my dosha and adapting Ayurvedic practices like mindful eating and yoga, I am experiencing profound improvements in digestion, mental clarity, and overall vitality. And without further ado, I want to welcome my special guest with a very brief introduction where she's going to talk about what is Ayurvedic and what is dosha and what does all of this mean and how it has she and her father and her team of experts are helping thousands of people get back into balance and find their health. So this incredible woman is not only a mother of two awesome kids and nature lover like myself and a firm believer in nature's intelligence, which happens to be Ayurveda, which is the science of life. She is also a chemical engineer, a geek who loves to test theological knowledge with practical experiences, theoretical knowledge, sorry. Having resolved her own health issues with Ayurveda, she has set on a mission to support the health of millions of other women and families and men who can also immediately benefit from the holistic and natural Ayurvedic healing meditation. Nadra, welcome to A Dose of Positivity. Thank you so much for being here, love.
Thank you, Donna. I really appreciate you giving such a positive introduction as well as your own experience with Ayurveda. And this is something I have experienced myself too, and I have some Ayurvedic background as my father is an Ayurvedic doctor, but growing up I was more focused onto my studies and everything I wanted to achieve in life. So I was at a very fast paced, the fast track career in which I graduated from one of the top engineering colleges in India, and it was pretty hectic schedule, and to find my space and to find my space and create a life ahead in the professional matters, which turns out to be in the corporate life that one finds you know uh, to meet our ends and to place ourselves in a society where we feel that we have achieved something. So that achievement led career and education style, it is what I started to pursue, and started working with one of the top 500 fortune companies as well in places, and got to introduce many places, worked in Europe, in Netherlands, in Canada. Eventually, as I was going through different stages of life, and I became a mother, I started to come to a point where I was really finding it difficult to, meet that end of balance, between my own personal life, giving time to my child, and feeling in a state of peace and health, and satisfying myself, professionally, having come, like having followed a track where I had, been a high achiever throughout, it was hard to see, that uh, uh, like I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing enough. So that kind of feeling is what I still find, was the most troubling thing, that feeling of guilt that I'm not doing enough. And
Mm.
that, um, at the same time, my daughter was just 9 months. She was struggling so much with the health issues, like a newborn, and small kids too. And me too, going through the pregnancy and after delivery, really difficult journey. So I approached many doctors, but didn't really find the solutions there. Every time I will approach a doctor, they'll hand over a bag of medicine, which I was really hesitant to give to such a small child. And with these experiences, I started on a journey to learn more about, what can I do. And then I started to go back to my roots, started to discuss everything with my father, and dived more into the books around, to know what Ayurveda is, what how we can implement nutrition and lifestyle practices to make ourselves better, and to live a healthy and balanced life. This is what was start of my journey 10 years back, onto this track. And since then, I have never looked back. It has been amazing experience of being taking that step by step approach to resolve my own health issues, and and to help my own family. And now we are helping so many people across the world to to come to balance. And every day I get up with so many positive messages of how people we are, like how people whom we are working with, they are finding relief, they are like achieving their health goals. People find like getting pregnant, women getting pregnant who are really finding it difficult, going through difficult fertility journey, people losing weight, and people feeling good in their digestion, good energy levels, and able to sleep well. Some of them really struggle with a lot of these health issues. So these kind of messages really enforce every day into me that these small steps that we take under the guidance of Ayurveda, it's a holistic science of life. It's not about following a certain, um, it's not really following about that it has to be this Indian way, it has to be this ancient style. It's really about following things that bring our body to balance, and all of us are unique in our own ways, and this is what Ayurveda reinforces. It says that everybody has their unique body type, which is dosha, which Donna was talking about. And uh, and these unique body types are created as a result of the energies, the dynamic energies. So in Ayurveda, we have three dynamic energies. One is vata. Okay, so vata is the energy of circulation. It says it is the energy of elimination as well. It is the energy of breath, which goes inside and outside from us all the time. Okay, so it is the basic energy which is responsible for carrying out all our functions. And then pitta. And pitta is the energy of transformation. So all the metabolic functions that are taking place inside our body are happening under the guidance of pitta. Okay, and then kapha is the third, which is the energy of growth. Okay, and it is also related with the energy of groundedness, of inertia. So this is what is the basic Ayurvedic philosophy, that there are three primary energies, because what we consider is that matter, what we are, our body, is converted into that form through these three dynamic energies, using the five basic elements, which are earth, fire, water, air, and space. Okay, so these five elements are converted into the matter, which is our body, through these dynamic energies. And these dynamic energies are always into play to help these five basic elements to convert into our body, and hence our health. Okay, and if we see it from experiencing in certain ways, like let's say somebody is feeling off, anxious, so we consider it as a imbalance in vata. Okay, because vata is also the energy which controls our nervous system function. Yeah, so this is basically the, like, this is how Ayurveda looks into it. And when we understand it from this perspective, that we are a complex but dynamic interplay of these energies and elements, we can utilize these handles to make our lives better and our health better and come back to balance. Yeah.
I love that. That was like a nice short summary of Ayurveda. So Vata Pitta Kapha. Um, um, one of the things, well, I know that tell one of the well, tell you got her um survey or her form that she filled out. So you guys stick around because we're going to go over that. And if you haven't already filled out that form, I suggest that you have a look at it. You can find it on the Facebook page, and Tell's going to put that in the chat right now, but it's in about 15-20 minutes. We're going to go over that. And then, but before we do that, I want everybody who's listening to really understand, and if you have any questions, obviously put it in the chat. But how do you understand, um assess somebody what their dosha is? Give us some tangible stuff that we can look at when we're thinking about our own personalities. Like, you're born with a dosha, right? And
Yeah.
then you go through life, and maybe you eat a lot of junk food and processed meats or animal products, or you're living in a polluted city, and your birthright of dosha that you come into gets imbalanced, right? So you might have been born pitta, but all of a sudden you got too much vata and too much kapha. So how can you feel that or intuitively know that, like, if, like, to the common person, and then how do you approach that with your patients?
Yeah. So Donna, like Ayurveda, as it explains, okay, in theory, we have different stages of life as well. Okay. The childhood stage is the kapha stage of life where a lot of growth is happening. Okay.
The what
Because
now? Say that one more time.
growth is happening. So childhood, let's say, from
Childhood.
the time a baby is born, to the time they reach adulthood, about 18 to 20 years, it's the time when there is growth happening inside the body. Our body is growing in every aspect. So our body is really going through that kapha stage of life. But mentally, we are going through vata stage of life. Okay. So if we get into those details, and then, because a child is very creative, they are so adaptive to ideas, and they are always more, and sometimes they are going all over the place, that they are a bit restless. So this is what vata is. Okay. And then the midlife stage, is the pitta stage of life, where from adulthood to the transformation to what before, like, let's say for women, before menopause starts, it's the time of the pitta stage of life, where a lot of energy is needed, to carry out our responsibilities in life, to achieve, and to make our place in the society. Okay. And then in the third stage of life, which is of after, let's say, 50 years beyond, is the vata stage of life. Okay. And in between are the transitionary stages. Okay. So naturally, when somebody is in these stages, one is more prone to have these kind of imbalances. For example, children have a lot of kapha related issues, a lot of coughs, sinus problems, and mucus related problems. And adults have a lot of pitta related problems, let's say a lot of heat inside the body which gets accumulated. And in fact, migraines are also one of the migraines, inflammation, constant feeling of acidity, and that anger, irritability. These are all parts of excessive heat and pitta. Okay. And which a lot of adults experience. Okay. And then vata is the stage of life in which, a lot of there is dryness, because vata is dry. okay, and it is restless, it moves very fast, okay. And so that's why a lot of time in adulthood, we sorry, in elderly stage of life, we experience there is so much of dryness, there is a bit of degeneration, because vata is also a catabolic, excess of vata can be catabolic, basically it creates degeneration. So the body is not growing anymore, but the growth is like, let's say, bone density starts to go down, until unless you are taking any measures. So it's not about that, because of just excessive pollutants, or let's say faulty diet or lifestyle, one will be prone to these imbalances, but naturally due to life stages also, okay. And then coming to the exposures that we get, so we get the stimulations at every level. So stimulation will be food that you are putting inside the body, okay, the environment in which you are, as well as the thoughts, because thoughts and the emotions, they are also important part of Ayurvedic science of life and the treatment that we provide, because it directly affects our nervous system health, okay. And how our emotions are, it also affects our what dosh, okay. So that's why like when we go through the let's say the health assessments, okay, we have this as important part of knowing what kind of, what are the feelings and what are your energy levels, to assess, how you are placed energetically, okay. So we consider the points of how is your kapha dosha balanced, from, let's say, if there is any sinus or mucus related issues, okay, and if somebody is experiencing a lot of water retention, okay, so that gives us an idea and that they are experiencing a lot of kapha, okay. If they have slow digestion, a lot of heaviness, bloating, and all the time feeling constipated, that is kapha, okay. And for pitta, in the health assessments, what we have is, if somebody is experiencing excessive heat, like they have skin breakouts, skin rashes, prone to very very sensitive skin, which is prone to allergies also, thinning of hair, premature graying of hair, okay, acidity symptoms, okay, inflammatory symptoms, all of these are related to excessive pitta or pitta imbalance, okay. And then vata will be related to dryness inside the body, and it vata also directly affects the kidney, because kidneys are the primary organs, which is the home of vata, okay. And in Ayurveda, what we say is that if vata goes out of balance, rest of the two doshas will also go out of balance, because vata is the queen of all the dosha, okay. So dosha are the dynamic energies of life, okay. So if one is experiencing a lot of dryness, and in terms of, let's say, they are not able to eliminate properly, okay, and for women they lose their period, okay, and they are having irregular periods, okay, and also related to skin, let's say, wrinkling, okay, and dry brittle hair. So all of these are kind of symptoms of excessive vata inside the body, okay. And most of the time, people who are experiencing imbalances, like, or different kind of health issues, vata is always present along with other two, either kapha or pitta, okay. Yeah. Donna, I think your window is frozen. I can't hear you.
Maybe she'll be back in a bit.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is how it is. Now let me take you through the health assessment of one of our participants, okay. So what like as I mentioned, in Ayurvedic treatment philosophy, the primary things that we are looking at are really like how a person is feeling in terms of their overall health, okay, in the body and in the mind, okay, so how their thoughts are, whether they are feeling very restless, okay, and the thoughts, the mental state is also affecting the sleep, okay. Sleep is also important part of our health, because it is the pillar of building like overall energy inside the body. It is the time when all the detoxification functions are taking place inside the body as well, right? And it is the time when our body needs that rest and restoration, and lot of these nervine connections are happening inside the brain, okay. So if a person, let's say, is experiencing sleep disturbances, they are not able to sleep well in the first place, okay, then that is kind of indicated there is a lot of this vata, okay, a lot of this restlessness, okay. And if they are getting up in the middle of the night, okay, then that is kind of the pitta time of the night, and it is also the time when our liver is active. So liver is the primary organ where pitta
I'm good,
stays,
aren't I?
okay, the dynamic energy of pitta,
Am I frozen?
okay. And so if one is experiencing, yeah, so if one,
What about now?
hi Donna, you're back.
I'm back. I'm back. Good.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. I've been hearing you though. This is so
yeah.
great. Just,
I,
just because I've been hearing you and what you're saying, and I don't want to cut you off, but what I really love that you're saying is you're making it very, very clear. Like I know a lot about this, and that you're making it very clear for people. And I know some of the people on here are dealing with migraines and headaches, and me with chronic kidney disease, and Tel's having problems with her kidneys. And since we don't have big audience, it would be great to really direct to those people. And Sharon, if you have a health issue or anything you would like her to address, because then we can keep it real personal and not so general, and help you guys who are right here on the call. So, and I what you said about the kidney and the water and being, that central thing, of course that lit me up, and I'm sure it lit Tel up too, because she's dealing with kidney issues as well. And Sharon has been a guest on our show before. She's incredible. She's a trigger therapist, and when you
okay.
hear her talk about these issues in the whole nerves and the root nerve, she's genius as well. So on these, like, how do you tune in to each individual personal dosha? And that's when we're going to get to Tel's health form and all of that. But I just want to recognize that I am back, and I have been hearing everything you say, and I'm so grateful for you chiseling it down so we can all really understand and gain so much from this presentation. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. So yeah, so coming back to the sleep, right? So yeah, like so if somebody is waking up in the middle of the night, let's say 2 to 4 a.m., then we say that pitta is imbalanced, okay, and it directly relates to also the cortisol, the high levels of cortisol which one may experience. So cortisol is the stress hormone, and in Ayurveda, as I was mentioning, we just don't look at the physical part, the mental part as well, okay. So cortisol is the energy, the high pitta, okay. So if there is high stress, that aggravates pitta, okay, that leads to high heat inside the body, okay. So this is how is the basic Ayurveda philosophy, okay. Like, it will increase like, okay. So if there is high heat that you are putting inside the body, that will increase the heat inside the body, right? So it's that how the energetically we will see, okay. So if one is experiencing a lot of sleep disturbances, they are getting up in the middle of the night, not able to fall back asleep, it is related to those causes. We will go back to the causes, we'll map it there, and we will also put it very, like, give a structure, so the structure will be that pitta is getting imbalanced over here, or one is experiencing high heat, okay. And if one is getting enough sleep, and still feeling so tired, lethargic after getting up, or if one is experiencing a lot of this they are not able to breathe through the nose, and having a lot of mouth breathing or a lot of sleep apnea, which a lot of people experiencing. So these are related to kapha imbalance, okay, because you have had enough sleep, but still there is so much inertia in the body and you're feeling so tired, you are not able to get up, so this is what is kapha imbalance. Okay. And so and mouth breathing, because naturally we are supposed to breathe through nose. Okay. And but if our sinuses, the parts, are clogged as a result of lot of mucus, because this is the part where a lot of mucus clogs up, that leads to, that is because of kapha imbalance, that leads to natural mouth breathing. You are not able to breathe through the nose, nasal pathways, you are not able to utilize them properly, and you are dependent on the mouth. Okay. And eventually you get used to that shallow mouth breathing. Okay. So this is how basically. And to bring the body back to balance is again the same philosophy. Okay. So if you want to bring a person who has high heat inside the body, okay, so we have to balance it by cooling diet, cooling lifestyle, okay, and cooling everything practices. Okay. And if somebody is having vata imbalance, okay, we have to do more grounding work. Okay. Because it's very restless, it's very fast movement energy. Okay. So we have to do that slowing down. Okay. Giving them more grounding. Okay. And giving them more lubrication, because vata is the energy which leads to a lot of dryness. Okay. And similarly, if somebody has kapha imbalance, then what we do is provide more stimulation, because they have so much inertia, right? And there is, let's say, excessive growth as a result of kapha imbalance. So kapha is the energy of growth. When there is kapha imbalance, it will lead to excessive growth like cyst, fibroids, sometimes tumors as well, which people experience. So then we try to do the reduction therapies. Okay. So the detoxification, okay, which helps to get this excess out of the body in a safe and systematic manner. Okay. We, like at Medhya Herbals, we really are against, those detoxes which are like 2-day detoxes, 3-day cleanses. Okay. Because they put the body through they swing the body very fast from one stage to another, and you in those matter of 3 days, you will release so many toxins so fast, that your body is unable to handle. That leads to another problem, because these toxins are also very active. These are kind of free radicals. They will just go and disturb the whole body if you just remove them like that. Okay. So that's why we are really, the philosophy that we work on is gentle approach, by implementing changes in your diet and the lifestyle, to take the step by step slow approach to slowly release and safely eliminate the toxins out of the body, and to get your energies back to balance. Okay. So what I did was I took an example of sleep to explain this dosha. Okay. And this happens in every aspect, the way your skin looks. Okay. The way your hair is. Okay. The way your digestion is. Everything is mapped onto these energies. Okay. And based on those things, we get to know that one may have this, or let's say pitta imbalance or kapha imbalance. And sometimes people have more imbalances. They may have both kapha pitta, they may have kapha vata, or they may have all three, which is actually very, very common. So most of the people that we see are at this stage where all three dosha are imbalanced. So then the approach is really to bring the body back to balance by adopting those small and daily measures in your diet lifestyle, to keep everything in smoother, and slowly bringing it to that steady state where you are able to function and start thriving in your body. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. And so, like a tangible example, somebody has too much pitta, they're waking up at 4 in the morning, they get migraines and, maybe even vertigo, and feeling like really, like, and a senior, right? I'm talking about a specific person in mind, but so you would look at this person and what they're eating, like explain the protocol, how you would go to helping somebody who has, say, those types of symptoms. Because some people come to you with symptoms, right? They like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So people will come to us with health issues, okay, and they will have their health reports. Okay. So we'll go through the health reports as well, because telling them, let's say, with the your blood work and all is important. Your body is giving you signals, is the most important thing that we listen to, and we work on to that, because Ayurveda is a lot about preventive medicine, yeah, and also curative medicine. So modern medicine has its role to play a lot in the emergency measures, and we don't deny that. We work along with it. Okay, it's important to take those emergency measures when it is required, but the most important thing is to prevent any kind of condition to happen in the first place by taking these things, by adopting, let's say, a systematic routine which goes along with your circadian rhythm. Okay, so when people come to us with symptoms, okay, we will map their symptoms according to their body profile. So we'll prepare a body profile for them. Okay, so this is how your body type is, and right now it is at this stage, let's say the imbalances, and how we want to bring it back to balance. Okay, so the health protocol involves let's say the guidance on the diet. Okay, so diet is basically implementing smaller changes, adopting those kind of foods which will help to balance the energies. Okay, and it is always according to the digestive fire, the strength of the digestive fire of a person. Okay, and it is about balanced nutrition. It is not about that you have to stop eating meat, you have to stop doing this. It is not about that. It is really focusing on whether you can assimilate it or not. If you are taking in very good foods, let's say you are taking protein powders, you are taking all kind of superfoods, you are trying to make sure that you are eating the best foods, but your digestion can't assimilate it, it's all going to waste, really, because our digestion is really like you are cooking food on fire. Okay, so that fire, is really, you can understand it as the strength of your digestive fire. If the fire is slow, the food is not cooked properly in the pan, right? And then you won't like that food because it's not cooked properly. Same happens to your cells. Your body cells are thriving on the nutrients that you get, from the foods that you are eating. Okay, your liver and your digestive system is breaking down all the complex carbs and all the carbs to glucose, which your body cells need for energy. Okay, this is the primary fuel. They break down proteins into amino acids, which help to build the building blocks of the body cells, a lot of hormones, and they also give a lot of energy when needed after glucose. And then the fatty acids, the fats are broken down to fatty acids, which the body cells need, and a lot of essential micronutrients. Okay, so if you are taking in all kind of superfoods, but your digestion is weak, it's the fire is slow inside, all of this food is not getting properly broken down. Okay, it's not getting properly cooked for the cells, and that thing, which is not getting cooked, the cells can't utilize, it's staying inside the body. It's called toxins, undigested food, which creates inflammation because your body doesn't know what to do with it. Okay, and that's why it is so this theory of and agni, the digestive fire, the strength of digestive fire, is very, very important that we take into account before prescribing a diet to a person. Okay, what is the strength of their digestive fire? If some, and a lot of people come with us, especially pitta persons who have very high agni. Okay, the agni is like so strong that they feel so hungry most of the time, they will take a lot of food, and still they are not able to gain any weight. They feel so weak, tired, okay, and so restless. This is because the agni is so strong, the fire on the pan is so strong, it's burning the food. Okay, and then also the cells are deprived, they are not getting the nutrients, right? And so this is what, and a lot of what people come to us which have irregular digestive fire. So what is about irregularities? Okay, and so sometimes the digestive fire is strong, you feel like diarrhea. Sometimes it's so weak that you feel constipated. Okay, so this is how we understand, what is the strength of your digestive fire, and based on that strength you will be given a diet plan. Okay, which will include foods that are good for your body constitution and helpful to bring it back to balance. And Ayurveda doesn't say that you have to abstain from a food for all, for all the time. Especially when you are trying to bring your body back to balance, it's essential that you take care of it, like we take care of the gut of a small baby. We don't give them heavy to digest foods. We are so careful that the baby doesn't have a colic or this problem, because we know that their tummy is weak. Similarly, when a patient comes to us and we see that their digestion is so weak, I mean, they can't take that food. That's why we have to tell them, like, please stop taking all of this food for now, at least let your digestion become better, and then you slowly start including. And partying, being in a social circle, we are all so, like, humans, as humans we are social, and food is the time, and food is a medium of socializing. We connect with each other over food, and especially for Indians, it's important part of our life. Food is life for us. So that's why, socializing, being with family, friends, celebrating is important part of our mental health. And we don't say that you cannot have food at that time, you cannot indulge, but the strength of your digestion should be so strong that you should be able to take, every once in a while. And that is the whole philosophy, to bring you to that stage where you are able to assimilate foods, you are able to indulge, you are able to celebrate. This is how, this is basically the logic behind that balance that we are trying to help our patients with. And then similarly in the lifestyle, okay, so we prescribe changes on lifestyle that are really important to help you come back to balance. So if, let's say, your vata is imbalanced, you don't have enough energy, and you are still doing all those, late nights, not getting enough sleep, your body is going to be so tired, because it's already has so much of vata, so much of degeneration, and you are still doing so much, you are taking so much. It is giving you signs which you are ignoring, and then keeping more on it, it's going to break down. So that's what, we tell people to start following a routine which helps to bring their circadian rhythms, also related to vata, deeply, and vata back to balance. Okay, so by taking those small steps, grounding activities, for example, walking barefoot on the ground, working on your nervous system, are all essential parts of vata balance. Okay, similarly, in the herbals, the choice of herbals are done according to a person's body needs. Okay, I mean, Ayurvedic herbals, although they are plants, they are not as potent as the extracts, but they are really potent medicines. They need to be taken under the direction of a doctor always. A lot of people come to us, and they are self medicating, and they will say that Ayurveda doesn't work for me. It doesn't work like that. You have to take herbs according to your body constitution, because every herb has a mode of action. It is rich in micronutrients, and it has medicinal properties. It goes and attaches to specific body tissues. For example, some herbs act on your liver, some herbs act on your heart, some herbs act on your blood tissues. So this is how an experienced Ayurvedic practitioner knows all about the herbals. They know which ones to use and which form. And in a lot of, like, the let's say in modern medicine practices as well, we are using extracts, extracts of ashwagandha, extract of turmeric, extract of this and that, but these are so potent and so condensed. When you start to take them, it is hard for your liver to assimilate. And 99% of the people today, they have sluggish liver function, as a result of the lifestyle that we are living. We can't escape it. We are living in a fast paced lifestyle. We are constantly bombarded with a lot of, duties, obligations, and we are getting food which is not the best, let's say, which our forefathers used to have. It is devoid of most of the nutrients. So as a result, our liver has to do much more work than our forefathers had to, and so we are having a sluggish liver. And on top of it, if we start giving ourselves potent extracts, in a hope that we will get better, it is again going to make liver more tired. It has to break down everything. Okay, it is the place where all these functions take place, and it has to safely eliminate the toxins also. So that is the reason we always say that you should avoid extracts and these potent forms, condensed forms. Instead, go in a much more balanced approach, and take time, be patient. This is your journey. You are on a health journey to reach that goal, and the idea is to reach that goal, yes, but a way where you come back to balance rather than suffering. It is a way of enjoying that journey, being the person who you want to be. So yeah, so this is what we mean.
Yeah, that was great. And for me, when I hear you say everything you're saying and encapsulating is tuning into your inner being, your inner knowledge. And we are bombarded, like you say, with so many things, and having a guide, someone who's a professional who can evaluate your sleep, how you're eating, what you're doing for exercise, how you're spiritually feeding yourself through meditation, breath, pranayama, whatever, and
Mm.
looking at those five really fundamental things.
Yeah.
When we don't have the opportunity in our daily lives, like, to just slow down and look at that, because if you watch TV, you're bombarded by all these horrible
Yeah.
pharmaceutical companies telling you that they're going to remove these symptoms, but they're not going to take care of the cause. And what Ayurveda has done for me and so many other millions of people is this 5,000-year-old knowledge-based science, based on science. um, it's a lifestyle. It's not,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
said, it's a journey. And once you know your dosha, and you just realize, well, that's not part of my lifestyle anymore.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like you say, but when I go celebrate, I can have that German chocolate piece of cake if I
Yeah.
choose. I just understand it might blow my pitta out of the water, and I'll need to do some more kapha restoration or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
understanding what we have to do, rather than reach for an over-the-counter drug or some other synthetic um, uh, drug, drug that's going to contaminate our bodies and destroy our livers and our kidneys and our minds and the world, because all of
Yeah.
this stuff is synthetic and produced in a lab, most of it, and God knows where the ingredients are coming from, and they're pushing these pink pills and pink liquids and things that are are are,
Yeah.
are making us sicker in the long run, and with just
Yeah.
short-term relief.
Yeah.
So, as promised, I'd love to, the health forum was in the Facebook group, and you guys, if
Mm.
pop that back in the chat. If any new listeners are on, and make sure it's in the Facebook feed and the LinkedIn feed. Um, so you can follow along. We're going to use Tell's form because she filled it out first, and and these are assessment values and ways that you could work with Nidra and her father and and their staff on this. You might even have an Ayurvedic doctor if you want to go in person and meet with someone. But you guys meet with people all over the world, and you're in Singapore right now, right? And your dad's in India, and you collaborate to work on these forms with these clients. And I'm making an appointment myself, and I've already spoke with her, Nidra, in detail about my condition. And I've been followed, been to the Ayurvedic hospital last year in January, Raja retreat, and we'll pop that link in the chat too, which was an incredible experience where, Nidra, I know I'm saying your name different each time, Nidra, am I saying it
Nidhi.
right?
It's Nidhi. Yeah.
Nidhi,
Yeah.
has, everybody knows I have a hard time with that, but it's like that was one of the things you were talking about earlier about doing a controlled detox with a professional, and I went and I did a panchakarma, and I don't know if I'll have time to dive into that, but you'll put in the links to. We have interviewed people about panchakarmas, and she'll put in a lot of resources of other wonderful interviews we've had about that. But I'd love to look at how you assess the clients and give people an opportunity to reach out directly to you, and because this is really important, and I wouldn't be like, I feel like I'm a drug dealer right now, but we're not talking about drugs, meaning this is so important. I mean, it has saved my life, so why wouldn't I want to share it with the world, these Ayurvedic principles? And I know I need to tune up now, so I'll be following up. But let's have you kind of go over the health form
Yeah.
and look at that and how you would address an individual client.
Yeah. Sure. So, let's go over the health assessment, in which it is asking about the questions that we start with are focusing on both mental wellness as well as like how you feel mentally, physically, and definitely spiritual part comes in our healing, and it's not that we uh, ask somebody that you have to meditate, because to meditate also you need to have that certain balance level, otherwise you'll be sitting in a pose of meditation thinking about 100 things. Doesn't help, right? So we have to start with at a place where a person can take, and to take them slowly to different stages, as they go through their health journey. Okay. So the questions over here are asking about headaches or migraines. So if somebody has it, and the purpose of this question is really to understand, if a person, like how the strength of their nervous system is. So if a person is experiencing a lot of headaches and migraines, depends, okay, which part of the head it is. If it is in the frontal part, okay, then we also ask, how frequently you get these headaches, and which is the part of the head where you get these headaches. Okay. So if it is the frontal part, it is related to these sinus headaches, which is kapha. Middle part is pitta. Okay. And the back portion of the head is the vata headaches. Okay. So this is what some people will get it at all three places, and this is what where is a mix of all three dosha are present. Okay. And then it is about infections. Do you get frequent infections, like UTI, stomach infections, sinus infections, skin infections of any kind? How frequent has it been? Okay. So if somebody is getting, let's say, sinus infections, that is a lot of indication of kapha imbalance. Skin infections is a indication of pitta imbalance. Okay. UTIs specifically are related to a lot of vata imbalance. All right. And then if somebody then the question is about dryness of the skin and the scalp, or any wrinkling of the skin. Okay. And this takes into the degree of the dryness one has experienced. Okay. So if somebody has experienced severe dryness or wrinkling of the skin, let's say at an early age, it is an indication of severe vata imbalance. Okay. Because when vata is imbalance, it leads to a lot of dryness. Okay. And it pulls out all the moisture, and it pulls out all the water. Okay. And that leads to this early stage of, let's say, dryness inside your body tissues. So your skin, your bones become a little hard, stiff, and cracking, even at early age. Okay. So that is what is vata. Okay. And muscle aches and pains. Okay. So muscle aches and pains is also related to a lot to vata and pitta imbalance. So if somebody has pinching pains, that is a lot of these inflammatory pains related to pitta imbalance. If somebody has those dull pain, comes and goes, sometimes it is some at one place in shoulder, sometimes it is in the back, sometimes it's a moving pain, it is related to vata imbalance. Okay. Especially the muscular pains. Okay. Then how is your libido? Okay. Or sexual desire? This is also very important, not talked about enough, and neglected. A lot of people, especially in the middle age group who come to us, have are experiencing low libido, as a result difficult intimate relationships. But it is a result of excessive burden, excessive stress all of us are having, and we are losing our vitality. And it is also related to vata imbalance. Okay. Vata and kapha imbalance. Okay. Because the energy of growth, the reproductive energy, as well as the energy of creativity, okay, procreation, and is part of reproductive function. Okay. And then how is your memory, ability to focus, and retention? Okay. So if somebody has good memory, that is a good indicator of vata and kapha. Okay. If somebody is not able to focus, and they are they are not able to remember and recall anything. Okay. This is indicative of a bit more towards degeneration and vata imbalance. Okay. If somebody feels very restless, irritable, angry, okay, this is too much heat inside the body. Okay. That indicates high pitta. Okay. And health of the hair. Okay. So whether the hair, how is the texture of the hair, whether somebody is experiencing hair thinning, okay, graying of the hair, or any discoloration, brittleness. Okay. So as I pointed earlier, brittleness is indicated towards vata, and hair thinning, premature graying is towards pitta imbalance. And hair, the too much of, let's say, oiliness of the hair is related to kapha imbalance. Okay, similarly, dandruff, the type of dandruff is also mapped onto the energy. If somebody has very big patches, of dandruff, it is related to kapha imbalance, very thick patchy dandruff. If somebody has, dryness all over the scalp, it's like falling over, that is vata imbalance primarily. Okay, and then the strength of the knees, the joints. Okay, if somebody has any cracking of joints or soreness or swelling of joints. Okay, so joint swelling is primarily related to kapha imbalance, and cracking of joints is related to pitta and vata imbalance. All right. Okay, and so similarly, we have going through the energy levels. If somebody has good energy levels, that indicates that their metabolism, every function is going fine. If somebody is lacking energy, crashing, after their meals, or especially in mid-afternoon, that is indicative of pitta imbalance. Okay, if somebody is crashing right in the morning after good sleep, that is indicative of kapha imbalance. Okay, and then coming to changes in weight. So excessive changes in weight, whether it is weight loss or weight gain, is related to pitta imbalance. And then food cravings, we map food cravings too onto dosha. Okay, and strength of the digestion, I explained it. Okay, and stools. So how are the stools, because if somebody has diarrhea, okay, foul smelling stool, lot of undigested food, it is an indicative of pitta imbalance, because the digestive fire is so strong, it gets burnt and straight out of the digestive tract like that without getting assimilated. Okay, if pale whitish sticky stools, it's a lot of kapha imbalances there. Okay, and body temperature, do you feel normal, do you feel too hot, too cold? Too cold is vata. Okay, too hot, pitta. And normal, is like everything is in balance, and kapha is like you don't even sweat when it is very hot. Okay, and then we have check on the cyst fibroids. Okay, again, if somebody has any cyst or fibroids, it's a direct indicative of kapha imbalance, because it leads to abnormal growths inside the body. And then pitta, if it comes, it leads to inflammation inside those cysts and growths. Okay, and then we have sleeping. How is the sleep? We went over that. How are your mood and feelings? Okay, this also is mapped onto the energy level. Okay, and then the menstrual cycle in women. Okay, if like how it is it regular, is it too often, or is it absent? That is also indicative of the energies. Okay, and then we check onto how somebody what is their diet level, what is their physical activity level, to actually get an idea of what they are currently doing to support their health, and then we plan their health protocol accordingly. Okay, yeah, make sense? I can't hear you, Donna. I think you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, I put on mute because somebody showed up and my dogs decided to have a singing session. Um, but yeah, no, I love that. That's why I choose Ayurvedic as my primary care. And I
Yeah.
know a lot of you have a primary care doctor, and it's necessary, like you were talking about, Nidra, earlier, if there's an emergency or if you
Mhm.
need imaging,
Yeah.
or you do perhaps need an antibiotic or some kind of medication that you're on. But the
Yeah.
idea with Ayurvedic is to get off of these things and live a more natural, balanced life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
filling out an assessment like that, I love so much of what you said. It's like it's not a death sentence. It's not like you can never eat that again or you can never do that again. It's until you get back into balance. And it's like
Yeah.
everything in nature,
Yeah.
once it's in balance, you don't have to fertilize every day, or you don't have
Yeah.
to pollinate you just let it, you got to get it healthy. It's like
Yeah.
this plant
Exactly.
hasn't been watered for like a month, and so you're going to need to give it a little extra water and a little maybe extra nutrients until it
Yeah.
springs back. But then you might overwater the plant,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
if you overwater it, you end up with root rot, and that's a
Yeah.
whole nother symptom. And
Yeah.
so you would have to use that, change from pitta to vata or vata to kapha, and that's where you talk to a health professional, and they help you so you balance, so that
Yeah.
plant is in
Yeah.
balance. And then you
Yeah.
learn just,
Mm.
okay, I only water on Friday and I
Yeah.
only use this much and I
Yeah.
put that many nutrients and it's
Yeah.
perfect. And then when
Yeah.
it goes out of balance, you just hold back on the water, you give it a little extra. You don't let
Yeah.
it get to the point where it's going to dry out so much that
Yeah.
it's going to die or die from root rot because you overwatered
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
we have to look at our bodies like that's a simple analogy for me, for
Yeah.
based on everything you just articulate, articulate, articulately, what's that word?
Mhm.
When you articulate, it's just shared with us. And so I encourage you all to fill out the health form and get back. To Nidra and make an appointment like myself. I can't believe this hour was one of the fastest hours that went by. I hope that helped as she went through the report. And one question I had, because since two of
Yeah.
us, a couple of us, and then actually 1 in 7 people have chronic kidney disease or have malfunctioning kidneys. You had mentioned a lot about that had to do with the water, obviously.
Yeah.
So, like for someone like me, okay, because nobody else has raised their hand, I have, um, I drink so much, like 3 quarts a day. I mean, at least three of these, and some of it has my Ayurvedic herbs in it or whatever. But, can you drink too much water? I mean, and those are the things you
Yeah.
would assess too. So
Yeah.
I am really looking forward to getting more into detail on all of that. And again,
Yeah.
we're going to put your links in at the bottom. And I wanted to just take a moment to first acknowledge how amazing this conversation has been. I mean, really not so much a conversation, and not so much a lecture, but you sharing your brilliance and your knowledge and your wisdom, helping people get healthy. Because as you and I have discussed, when people are healthier, we have a healthier planet. And
Yes.
so that is so beautiful. One of the philosophies of Ayurveda that drew me closer to this proven science and health system that
Yeah.
is not broken, unfortunately, as our current health system is. So I encourage everyone to dive into this, save the chat, put your emails down if you want to get the replays. And next week, we won't be having a show. We're going to start doing the shows a couple of times a month rather than every week, especially during the summer. But I want to
Mm.
say to everybody who showed up today live how much I love and appreciate you. And Nidra, how amazing this was. And I will be in touch with you. Maybe send me your calendar or something so I can get on your calendar. And did you have an offer or anything that you wanted to share with people or any closing remarks right now before we go off live? I would really appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I have shared, like in the chat, the health guides that we have, and these are very detailed health guides, on how to support your liver function, how to support your gut health, and these are the health guides prepared by our Ayurvedic doctors. So go through them. You just need to, put in your email address, and you can grab them for free, and go through that. This will really give you a very good start, to begin your health journey by implementing these Ayurvedic practices in a slow and steady manner, and if you need support, for personalized guidance, definitely feel free to give us a shout, reach out to us. I'll share the link to take an appointment with our doctors as well, with our team. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it's all about taking that step towards starting the journey. It becomes easy from there onwards, because even before we start, we think so much, and that itself keeps holding us back, and we have those thought processes, which is this negative part, that I can't heal, nothing can be done. It's never like that. You can heal and you can fix. It is all about giving that body, your own body, that patient loving self care. You have to be kind to yourself. First of all, you have to start loving yourself enough, that you are ready to start the health journey. Otherwise, you will always be scared. That step has to be taken. Once you do that, it's an easy journey. We'll guide you at each and every step. Yeah.
Ah, so
Yeah.
beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And I just want to say one last thing in closing before I do the aloha. it is so many years of study
Mm.
and that Nidra has done. And to become an Ayurvedic doctor and a practitioner like this is like going to med school. So, you can rest assured that you are in good hands. And her father, who is the helm of the company, has been doing this for 45 years. And I think he knows quite a bit. And
Mm.
I'm so, so grateful for you coming on the show. So grateful for you
Yeah.
sharing your bright light, your love, and your wisdom. And I just want to say to everybody out there, big, big love and aloha.
Thank you.